Offer valid on standard browsers. U.S. only.
When I heard about Date My Age, I thought, I gotta check that out. I mean, I'm getting older, sure, but I don't feel like I'm done with, the fun parts of life, like connection and desire, excitement. You don't really find those things at the grocery store or the doctor's office, so I went online. Date My Age made dating an adventure. It gave me a chance to feel like a teenager again. The thrill of seeing someone new and saying, wow. I could send a spicy gift, start a video chat, or just message my compliments to a beautiful woman.
Whether you love, or just like to look, the fun is waiting for you at Date My Age.
Sure, I was skeptical, but Date My Age is safe, secure, and fun.
Get 60% off when you join at datemyage.com today. That's datemyage.com to connect with thousands of singles worldwide. datemyage.com.
Blessed love and royal greetings to all the massive tuning in worldwide. Welcome back to the Reggae Hour Podcast, the global roots sanctuary where culture meets consciousness and music meets message. Tonight we reason with an artist who isn't just riding the rhythm, he's redefining it. A true lyrical architect whose sound is steeped in the traditions of roots, reggae, Rastafari, liberty, and revolutionary fire. This is not your average chat. This is a voice forged in purpose and prayer. From the volcanic hills of the Caribbean spirit to the global soundscape, Iyagrade has emerged as a blazing force in modern roots reggae, blending militant message music with soul-soothing melodies and ancient chants that carry the weight of generations. He's shared stages with cultural icons, rocked international festivals, and turned heads in both grassroots communities and global platforms, whether it's a street corner cypher or a massive crowd waving red, gold, and green. Iyagrade delivers the same frequency truth, upliftment, and unity. His name is whispered in conscious circles with reverence. His artistry is more than entertainment. It's nourishment for the soul, a torchbearer for the future of roots reggae, and a living testament that the mission still lives. So, who is Iyagrade? That answer lies somewhere between the boom of the drum, the breath of the wind, and the words we're about to hear. Family, get ready, because what we're about to uncover is more than music. It's a movement. Let's welcome the one and only Iyagrade.
Blessed love, family. Welcome to another episode where we reason with the voices shaping reggae's past, present, and future. Today we have a man whose name carries deep spiritual resonance, Chief Iyagrade, an artist, poet, producer, and a true creative force. From the streets of Kingston to the stages of Toronto, his journey is one of musical evolution and self-upliftment. Iyagrade, welcome to the show, brethren.
Yeah, man, bless up. And the sweetest strain, Mr. Chief Iyagrade. I mean, I come here so fit play. Bless up, my brother. You don't know. Greetings.
Yes, sir. Man, I just got through listening all week to your music, getting ready for this interview, and I have to say, I understand why your name is ringing bells out there, man. Just want to say big ups to your music. Keep making music like this, because this is definitely what we need.
Go on, give thanks,
All right. Well, let's start with the meaning behind your name. Iyagrade isn't just a name. It's a mission, a mantra. I is standing upwards. Grade, class, quality, and rank. Break that down for the people. How does this name guide your approach to music and life?
Well, I would say, it's a thing with just upward movement, just continuously growing, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And the higher grade is like innovating, youths, ascending, generating, revealing, achieving, devoted, and enlightening, So it's a common higher grade, you see me?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Man, you have had pushed a lot going right now. And that's why your music carries that uplifting vibration. You were born in Jamaica, raised in Duhaney Park. And from early, you had this fire, writing songs at 7, drumming by 12, performing for 2 Jamaican governor generals. Looking back, how did those early experiences shape your sound today?
I would say, the way it shaped my sound would be like keep the music kind of culturally. If you notice, I kind of have like new lyrics, but kind of like a older kind of flow, kind of, the vibration, some of the rhythms that I choose to go on to, like, it's like a older kind of vibe, but at the same time, it's still new, you know what I mean? Yeah, so
Yes.
that's how I'd say it kind of shaped me from them
Oh,
age that till now, you know?
oh yeah, yeah. I could definitely tell. That's one thing that the flow grabbed my attention, and the lyrics was like, okay, this new generation, but yet with this old soul behind it. So it was a mixture, like almost like a perfect blend of bringing old and new together. And that energy shines in your performances. You have Roots Reggae Radio even crowned you the Roaring Lion. But me notice something special. While you keep that roots reggae foundation, you experience with harmonics in a unique way. Talk to me about that. How did you develop the Swedish strain as your signature delivery?
I would say it kind of comes down to, at the same time, the rhythms, and because like I also produce some of the rhythms that I make, so it's like it kind of ties into that, but also you don't know always have a meditation, so it kind of just goes together in a sense, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely. And
Yeah,
that bridge is powerful.
yeah, man.
Yeah, speaking of which, your music is deeply spiritual. How does your faith and ancestral connection influence the messages you bring forth?
Well, I'd say my faith, most of it's from growing up going to church as a younger youth, may I say, and mom instilling, Christianity in the household, you know what I mean? So like growing up in Jamaica, there's a lot of churches all over Jamaica. So every little youth go to church. So I would say the background in the music came from like the spiritual content came from like growing up and going to church, going to Sunday school and them kind of thing, there, being on a choir, you know? Yeah.
Oh, oh yeah. So that's exactly where you got your roots from your exact roots. That sound
Yeah,
is
man.
iconic.
Real thanks.
Yeah, now reggae has always been like a voice for truth and resistance. And
Yes,
2024
sir.
had a share of like world events, like political shifts, protests, the fight for
Yeah.
reparations gaining momentum. How do these movements inspire your current work?
I would say, it's reggae music is a music where for people where a struggle and a face injustice. So as an artist, when we're looking at the world and we see certain current, situations around the world, it's like we tend to speak on it from our point of view, I would say. So that's how like current events would because we're like the voice for the people that don't have a voice, if you know what I mean. So it's like we try to come up with ways of not only discussing the problems but also finding solutions for the current status quo, if you know what I mean. So reggae music have always been that. It's been like it's been always a protest to the status quo and also highlighting the injustice that we face globally.
Yes, definitely. And the global issues that we're facing today, it's like unprecedented in this time. Like, what is one of the problems that you see in this world today that actually garners your actual attention to where you want to focus on that if you had like unlimited time to just donate to volunteering and unlimited resources? What is one of those fights that you want to take on?
But what I say, like the injustice that our people that we go through, you know what I mean? Not only systemic like financial suppression of our people, you know what I mean? But also like, you look in the world, you see a lot of wars going on and that kind of stuff. And you kind of see like it's there's like a trickle down effect because it comes down into the street as well, with our people, you know what I mean? With the gun violence and so on and so forth, So donating my time, I would say more like speaking to the youth, I would say, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, like one of my favorite artists out there, Tupac, he had this saying that said that, like, why am I wasting my time with all these grown-ups when these
Yeah.
children out here struggling for this knowledge?
Yeah, man,
When
a real
it,
thing.
when it comes to growing up in Jamaica and now residing in Canada, what are some similarities that you see when it comes to the the problems that the youth face when it comes to the future that they're going to have to inherit?
Well, what I say, like pretty much it's the same problems. You know what I mean? Like we don't have certain programs, like for the youths them to keep their like to advance them in certain things that they would want to do. You know what I mean? So, for instance, sports or whatever it be music, whatever it be like, with tech and stuff like that, computers. Like the programs and the facilities are not there for the youth. So you find say most of the youth them live on the streets. You know what I say? And you know how that go.
Yeah, and that's actually a good answer. Right now, we have a lot of that's going on in 2025. Our youth still have an issue getting resources or things to help them. And with this new entity, our AI in the tech space, I want to get your thoughts about that. Do you think that would like help the youth, or will you think that like destroy will it hurt the youth in the long run? Would it benefit or would it hurt them?
Well, with technologies, there's always ups and downs, right? But I think like in terms of like education in the tech field, like working with AI and stuff like that could be really helpful going forward for the youth.
Offer valid on standard browsers, US only.
When I heard about Date My Age, I thought I gotta check that out. I mean, I'm getting older, sure, but I don't feel like I'm done with, the fun parts of life, like connection and desire, excitement. You don't really find those things at the grocery store or the doctor's office, so I went online. Date My Age made dating an adventure. It gave me a chance to feel like a teenager again. The thrill of seeing someone new and saying, wow. I could send a spicy gift, start a video chat, or just message my compliments to a beautiful woman.
Whether you love, or just like to look, the fun is waiting for you at Date My Age.
Sure, I was skeptical, but Date My Age is safe, secure, and fun.
Get 60% off when you join at datemyage.com today. That's datemyage.com to connect with thousands of singles worldwide. datemyage.com.
But like when you see stuff like say for instance like TikTok and stuff like that, and even for art, generating art, even some of it they're using it for generating music, yeah, could be helpful, but at the same time, as I said, with tech has the ups and downs, you know what I mean? Who's to say? We're not sure,
Right. Yeah,
where they're gonna go with it,
Yeah, like you said, they out here using AI to create music, and I saw a meme on Facebook. It was like, I want AI to do my laundry and to wash my dishes, so I have time to make art and make music. I don't want it the other way around. And I understand that completely. And you listen to some music, and a lot of it is like it sounds like a human made it. What do you think kind of challenges that are bring to the music industry?
Well, for one, your intellectual properties, right? So that's one issue right there, for sure. You know what I mean? But I think it'll also give a lot of youths also a way to get into the space, I think, if used properly. You know what I mean? So, as I said, with AI, you know what I mean? With technology, it depends on how you use it. You know what I mean? You can use it to, for the benefit, or you can use it for a downfall. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Can you see yourself using it in any of your music, or do you want to keep it strictly human touched?
I can't say for sure, but I've used it for art, right? For album cover artwork and stuff like that. I find it very useful for stuff like that. Even for even doing like some of effects, like in videos, I find AI to be very effective, and it also gives it like a different look. But at the same time, with creating the music, there's like a love that goes with like sitting down in the studio, making a beat from scratch, you know what I mean? Writing the lyrics yourself. And I don't think that'll go out of fashion, you know what I mean? I don't think that'll go out of style,
Right.
But
I'm
who's
with
to
you
tell,
on that.
right? Yeah.
Nah.
I like writing my lyrics, you know what I mean?
Right. And that actually leads up to this question. Walk us through your process. How do you come up with your ideas? Do you listen to the instrumental first, the music first, or do you write first? Walk us through a time in the studio for you.
I would say 95% of the times it's just like just hearing the beat, you know what I mean? Coming up with a few lines in your head, you know what I mean? And like just going through the motions like that. I don't necessarily write, but I do most of the times when the song is finished, that's when I actually write the song down. Because like I have this process where it's like I'm repetitive like when it comes to beats. Like I'll sit down and listen to a beat like over and over and over, because you could there's so much different instruments and you can write to you can write to the drums, you can write to the horns, you can write melody wise, you can write to the piano, you know what I mean? Like so that process for me is more like I just kind of just see where the beat's taking me and from there the song starts developing, you know what I mean? So for me it's just like I pretty much don't really write. 5% of the times, yeah, I might get an idea and write it down, but most of the time it's just like listening to the beat and just making it like that, you know?
Oh yeah, now that was kind of the way I like to work as well, because it's like the instrumental gets you. It tells you what the mood is. It tells you what the style is.
It's kind of if you really take the time, it kind of tells you what to actually do in a sense.
Exactly, and that's what it makes it a lot easier. And a lot of people they use it as a cookie cutter music where they take something that they already pre-recorded or pre-wrote and they apply it to this beat. And I don't like actually doing that because it takes away from the actual beat itself. This beat was made with a different intention. When you using these instruments, when you using your beats, do you have a connection with the producer who created the beats, or is it more of you just run into somebody and they give you a beat to jump on?
Yeah, well, as I said, I make beats myself, right? So I'll probably come up with an idea for a song and, come up with it, start trying to work the beat around a song like that. Or with producers, like I'd get the beat and then, as I said, I'll listen and feel that vibe. What's it telling me, and then I'll go from there. Most of the times it's just like, I haven't really sat in a studio and like made a beat with a producer for a song. I've done that by myself, but not really with a producer, So most of the times it's just like I get the beat, like, or I get some connection, like a producer want me to jump on like one of their projects or something, and then let's go from there, Just make it flow,
Right. And whenever you're making your beats, like what is the process with that? What program do you use?
Use a plethora of programs, like Cubase, Reason, have this Logics, so different programs. For me, it's like because I'm a drummer, I always normally lay down the drums first. Like I always try to get a feel for the drum, like come up with different patterns and stuff like that on the percussion side, and then I'll try to get my melody in there, see where it's taking me from there,
Right. So you've been playing drums for a long time, I take.
Yeah. I used to play in a marching band when I was younger.
Okay. Is that where you got your started?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a school marching band.
Okay. And was that in Jamaica or was that in Canada?
Yeah, that was in Jamaica.
Oh, okay. So yeah, y'all was down there playing the sauce.
Yeah. We played we played the Stars and Stripes and stuff like that too, Blue Moon and that kind of stuff. Yeah, jazz.
Okay.
A little bit of that too.
Okay, all right. Do you find yourself like using some of those elements in your music now?
I would say like being in a band actually gave me that foundation in terms of like beat making when I wanted to actually get into that. Actually gave me the foundations for that, like understanding timing and stuff like that, the bars, all that stuff, Also with writing too, yeah.
Okay, yeah. See, and that right there is what a musician, a real artist is. You got that basis. A lot of people get this mic and they just say what's on their mind, and then they call themselves artists and musicians. I'm like, no, you may be a rapper, but you're not a real artist. But you got to construct some art in order to be some artist. So whenever you're
Good
talking to your
example,
music,
like an artist like Jin, right? A really good rapper, battle rapper, dope. But when it comes down to like actually making a song, and it's like, oh,
right?
yeah,
Exactly. And that's why a lot of people should be able to recognize what their niche is. Whenever you're talking
yeah.
to young artists, like how do you help them develop or help them to understand what their niche is?
Well, so it's I think that's like a natural thing, right?
Mhm.
I think that's kind of like a natural thing. From you see an artist, you can kind of see like naturally where they're good, what they're good at, how they flow, their style, if they're unique, they're different. So
Right.
I think it's just a natural thing when it comes to music, right? That's
Okay.
why different artists stand out, right?
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. You gotta these everybody who has a style, they always blossom, and then and if they whenever they blossom, you have people that come behind them and pretty much copycat their style. I know Amigos was the most copied
Yeah.
group in hip
For
hop
sure.
history. You
For
had
sure.
people
I would say
everywhere.
it's like everyone for a moment there, like everyone that was putting out songs like in a hip hop game sounded exactly like me. This is
Right. I'm
crazy.
thinking, like, I'm hearing a new
Yeah.
song, and I'm like, dang, Migos dropped
Yeah.
another song. No, this ain't the Migos. Who is it? I don't even want to
Yeah.
know. I don't even want to know. I'm good.
Yeah, that's true,
do
bro.
you do you hear like sometimes do you hear when you hear other artists? Do you hear your style like intermingled with their style?
I would say there's times where, because as I said, there's great minds think alike, but sometimes you'd hear stuff where you're like, damn man, like I'm sure I'm the one that came up with that, but
Right.
who's to say, right? You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
at the end
you
of the
you
day,
would
I don't even pay attention to that stuff, man. Like if you're gonna, I within myself, I know, like I sat here and I came up with that. I didn't see someone do it and then try to copy it. You know what I mean? So
exactly,
for
and that's
each
the
is
best
their own,
way.
Yeah.
Is right. And like you said, great minds think alike. You're not the only one that living in a vacuum right now.
Yeah.
No, you aren't the only one that going through your experiences. You may be the only one with your perspective of that experience, but more than likely there was somebody else who experienced that experience along with you. Do you ever find yourself like collaborating with other artists that from like the as soon as you talk to them, oh my God, you got the mentality, you got that mindset that would be perfect for this song? Or do you wait until y'all create the song and see what that mentality brings, what the music brings out of their mentality?
Offer valid on standard browsers, US only.
When I heard about Date My Age, I thought I gotta check that out. I mean, I'm getting older, sure, but I don't feel like I'm done with, the fun parts of life like connection and desire, excitement. You don't really find those things at the grocery store or the doctor's office, so I went online. Date My Age made dating an adventure. It gave me a chance to feel like a teenager again. The thrill of seeing someone new and saying, wow. I could send a spicy gift, start a video chat, or just message my compliments to a beautiful woman.
Whether you love, or just like to look, the fun is waiting for you at Date My Age.
Sure, I was skeptical, but Date My Age is safe, secure, and fun.
Get 60% off when you join at datemyage.com today. That's datemyage.com to connect with thousands of singles worldwide. datemyage.com.
I would say like my experiences with like collaborations, like I had a song Champion where like I kind of knew which artist I wanted to be on the song. So it was just a matter of timing per se with that one. But then there's a other song that I did with like some rappers where it was just like we're in the studio, we're vibing, and we just made it happen. You know what I mean?
Right. Which one, in
Yeah.
your opinion, was a better spirit? Which one got a better outcome for you?
Um, I would say like when it comes to like chat, it's two different experiences, I would
Yeah.
say. You know what I mean? But experiencing that and like really like just being in the studio with other artists and watching how they work and how they go about it too was an experience in itself too as well, right? The
Right.
first one I kind of knew because I was producing this track, so I kind of knew how. I knew I wanted a female artist, and I knew I wanted the next artist that was like up to my caliber, because I didn't want to sound dominating on the track, and I wanted us all to blend together. So it was like that kind of experience was kind of unique. But then with the rappers now, it was kind of unique too, because it's like none of them have ever rapped on a rhythm like that. That sounds kind of like calypso or kind of reggae. You know what I mean? It was
Right.
more on that kind of side. So it was like it was different for them. But then just watching how they like attacked the beat, it was just like it was crazy, man. Like that was an experience too, you know?
Right.
So both in the like both different, but really unique experiences. You know what I mean? I would say.
Right. Yeah, it definitely is. And like when you got these songs and you feeling the energy of them, like I'm pretty sure you perform in Toronto, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, how is the performing scene out there? Like, tell me, how does the crowd interact?
It's live out here, man. It's live,
okay.
man. It's live, man. If you could do your thing, it's live. Yeah.
Okay. And that's what a lot of people don't understand when they think of Toronto or Canada. The first person they come to their mind is Drake.
Yeah.
How did you think that with him blowing up in the hip hop game, what do you think it done for Canada's reggae scene as well?
I wouldn't say it has done that much, but yeah, it has. You know what I mean? Like, because he did that song where he went to Jamaica and like kind of shed a little spotlight up, but like I wouldn't say that much. There's other people here that's like really, really doing it. There's artists coming in on a regular, like touring, you know what I mean? So
right.
I wouldn't say done that much, but yeah, he did put Toronto on the map when it comes to like the rap game and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And what about that, right?
Right. Oh yeah, he took that. We got to give it at him. But when it comes to the reggae scene, what names do you say personally helped to build Toronto up?
Well, there's artists out here like Blessed B and Kruma, like Tanya P. There's also Mishimi, plethora of artists, Esco Levi, got Isis, got a lot of artists up here, man. Like very talented artists, you know what I mean?
Okay. And where do you see yourselves in 5 years? Like, how do you see Toronto, the scene looking like in 5 years?
It's just gonna get bigger and better, man. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Because I said, like, pretty much in Toronto, like every weekend we have like a major reggae or dancehall artist performing in Toronto. You know what I mean?
Right.
If it's not artists, it's DJs. That's, you know what I mean? Like well-known DJs doing parties and stuff like that. So the scene up here, like when it comes to entertainment, it hasn't always been like this, but it's growing. It's grown. Especially after COVID, like it was just like an explosion. It's like people are just waiting, you know what I mean, to get out again, you know? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I can just imagine that after COVID, man, everybody was waiting to explode onto the scene, man. It was like, I'm tired of these internet when they started to do all the shows on internet on the like live stream and stuff, like it ain't the same.
It was kind of weird because like I was gonna really like put a lot of effort in doing one of those, but then I was just like, I'm the type of person where I have to be on stage and like I have to be with the crowd. Like,
yes,
it wouldn't be the same. Like the vibe wouldn't be the same. You know what I mean?
It wouldn't, because you feed off of the crowd. The crowd is what hypes you up, and you it's like you looking in a mirror when you performing on a live stream, man. You ain't gonna get that same hype.
Man. It's like it's totally different, you know.
How did you handle it? Like, you didn't do the live stream. What was some things that you did during COVID that
I worked on a lot of music? I dropped an album, worked on the videos. Like we were out here like COVID didn't exist.
Exactly.
We're still like having parties, going to parties, like filming videos in the studio, like, you know. So I made a lot of music during COVID. It was actually a good time for me because I had that time to just like focus, you know.
Yes, exactly.
Just put that work in,
You ain't have a lot of people in your ear at the same time. You can just deal with the people you want to deal with.
Yep, that's most definitely.
So tell us what's next for Iyagrade. What is Iyagrade going to be doing in the next 5 years?
Man, there's so much things on my list, man. But I definitely I wanna really actually get into like making short films, kind of documentaries, um, hopefully trying to start like a podcast type of thing, get that going too as well. But definitely, I want to do like uh, something like a story about like the music, like that come up game, like like out there, like on the circuit, doing the performances, going in the studio, like that kind of vibe.
Is it going to be Iyagrade centered, or is it going to be just any artist centered?
I would say it'd probably be loosely based on my experiences, but it would be pretty much, I try to keep it like general to like stuff that artists go through on like as an upcoming artist, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Some of the stuff that we face, some of the stuff that we go through, and also on the life side too as well.
right.
So not just only with the music.
A lot of people forget about that. That's why I like to have these
Yeah.
interviews, because a lot of people forget that these artists just don't live in the studio. They got to get out of the
Yeah.
studio. You'll probably be in the studio 2 or 3 days out the week versus living the rest of your life. Tell me some of the things that the fans that they don't get when they see you in public, like something that you would like to tell them now that you probably wouldn't want to tell them because you don't want to lose that fan. You know what I'm saying? But Eminem came out with that song where he was talking about some just leave me alone when I'm out in public. Like, what would be some things that you would have some advice for fans?
Man, it's just like it was just like just personal space type of stuff. Like I'm good with the fans and stuff like that. Set boundaries and shit. Just don't cross the boundaries. But other than that, like I'm pretty good with like when I'm out there. Something that a lot of people would know about me is that like I'm kind of like I like to be like one away. I like to hear my thoughts. Like sometimes I wouldn't say I'm a loner, but like you know when I'm not out there doing my thing, I'm just chilling. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
That's where the
A lot of
creativity
people,
comes from.
a lot of people would know that about me. It's not that rah rah every day.
Right, right. See,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I like. That's why I like to have these things, to get the chance to be able to speak your mind in a protected place, because it's out there. Some nowadays with cancel culture, you can't speak your mind without somebody checking every letter of your sentence. Like, how do you talk in public without having to worry about
man. I don't even get involved in that kind of stuff. To be honest with you, man. Like, it is what it is. A spade's a spade. You know what I mean? So just keep it straight. That's what it is, man.
That's real. The truth is,
Yeah, man.
truth don't hurt.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. I come from that place where it's just like, yo, it's better you just tell me to my face than like, try to go behind my back type of shit.
Right, exactly, and not a lot of people understand that. Man, it's been a wonderful, wonderful conversation with you. We got Iyagrade in the building, but before we leave, we got to know what's in the immediate future. What kind of tracks should we be looking out for? What kind of performances? Where you going to be stationed at? What will tell us what Iyagrade has in the immediate future?
Man, it's just as I said, like I really want to get into like making that, whether it be short film, kind of documentary, biopic type of thing, and figuring out how to like get the music in there, like not only just music with lyrics, but also just like music type of thing. You know what I mean? Like also hoping to get into like some sync deals type of thing, you know what I'm saying? Getting the music into like commercials, video games, whatever. Like that kind of shit, man. Just upward movements, man. Just like putting out more music, you know what I mean? Engaging with the fans, more performances, that kind of vibe, my G. Like just getting out there and just doing it.
That's real. I love
Yeah,
it. I
man.
love it. How can we find you? Where should we go right now if we want to keep up with you?
Yeah, man. If you want to keep up with me, you can find me on Instagram. You don't know Iyagrade or Iyagrade Media, because I do the media shit too. You can also find me on YouTube. You know what I mean? That's Iyagrade. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I'm out here, man, doing it.
Yes, man, and we've been following you, man. Like I said, somebody sent us your track, and we're gonna be playing it next. Man, it was a magnificent piece of art. We had to get you on here, man. So
which one was that?
Yeah, so it was your song, The Bag. Yeah, that right there was Bag. I love that song, man, because you know everybody be after that bag, and it had a catchy tune to it. I remember actually bopping to it. I was like, I gotta interview him. So just want to say thank you for coming on here and talking to us. It was a pleasure getting to know you, man.
Don't know. Not for anybody, man. Thanks, man.
Anytime. You want to give a shout out to anybody before we leave?
Yeah, man. I just want to say, you know, big up to the Most High, you know what I mean? For giving me the inspiration to do this, you know what I'm saying? Big up to the moms, the fams, you know, big up to the youths them, you don't know, you know what I'm saying? Big up to all the ones out there that support the music over the years, you know what I mean? Just keep tuned. We'll be dropping more music soon, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, big up to you too, man. You don't know Boss Radio. We out here doing it, you know what I'm saying? Live
yes,
and direct, right? Yeah, that's what it is, man.
Already, well, y'all already know what it is. You boy Iyagrade. You can find him on Instagram and YouTube. You can find him on all social media. So make sure you go find him. He's streaming right now on platforms. So make sure you get him. We got his links right here in the description. So if you're watching us on YouTube, click that link, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you follow him because he's gonna have way more works. You heard him here, documentaries and more. So make sure y'all go ahead and follow him today. This is your boy, Mr. E. On here. We're about to sign off of Reggae Hour Podcast. And if you ain't already following us, then you're slipping on your pimping and slacking on your Mac. And go ahead and hit that follow button, that subscribe button. And until then, we are out. So y'all make sure y'all stay irie. You heard me? One love.
Music. Higher upliftment, forward movements. Chief goes to Iyagrade. Sweetest strain.
No time to cry, no time to die. I seen the spies, wanna see my demise. Despite the lies, I read between the lines. With the Most High, it's where I reside. I've got no time to cry, no time to die. I see the spies, wanna see my demise. I've seen the light, I'ma let it shine. With the Most High, it's where I reside. Licensed to trill, notorious like James Bond. They upon a mission for the reggae nation. New innovations, lyrical visions. Youths ascending, higher elevation. Simple maths, yeah. Mathematician, no division, addition. That a when me depend in the 6 MI5, the 8ers on me. One take where your vibe, one drain your energy. Would I love see you gone till you don't know where you're dead. Still me stand up strong and do it for my family. No time to cry, no time to die. I seen the spies, wanna see my demise. Despite the lies, I read between the lines. With the Most High, it's where I reside. I've got no time to cry, no time to die. I see the spies, wanna see my demise. I've seen the light, I'ma let it shine. With the Most High, it's where I reside. Vroom, vroom. Pull up in an Aston Martin, something foreign. Fly female, that's just logic. Oh, don't panic, yeah. The suit Armani, you know my style. Living lavish, from being polished. Buy champagne, exclusive parties. Iyagrade there now, get it started. Good music, the people them want it. If you party from now till the morning, Iyagrade, gonna keep on chanting. Bring you the feeling that you been wanting. Remember me say, I was going all in. Crowd them a cheer, the people them dancing. Hashtag, higher upliftment, Iyagrade. No time to cry, no time to die. I seen the spies, wanna see my demise. Despite the lies, I read between the lines. With the Most High, it's where I reside. I've got no time to cry, no time to die. I see the spies, wanna see my demise. I've seen the light, I'ma let it shine. With the Most High, it's where I reside. Licensed trill, notorious like James Bond. I'm a day up on a mission for the reggae nation. New innovation, lyrical visions. Youths ascending, higher elevation. Simple math, mathematician, no division. Addition, that I want me depend. E na the 6, MI5, they all up on me. One take where your vibe, one journey energy. Would I love see you gone till you know where you're there. So me stand up strong, do it for my family. What me say? No time to cry, no time to die. I seen the spies, wanna see my demise. Despite the lies, I read between the lines. With the Most High, it's where I reside. I've got no time to cry, no time to die. I see the spies, wanna see my demise. I've seen the light, I'ma let it shine. With the Most High, it's where I reside.